It's early October in Jersey City. Jehovah's Witnesses in the United States eagerly prepare to welcome thousands of visitors. They came from 84 countries to attend a special meeting.
We met friends from the Fiji, we met friends that are serving in Thailand.
We come from Madagascar.
Serving in Nigeria branch.
This is the first time that Armenian delegates are invited.
We're visiting from the Mexico branch.
And we're from the Dominican Republic, and we're really excited to be here for the annual meeting.
I am from Peru.
We are from Sri Lanka.
And I'm from the Bethel in London.
We're from Iraq, but we are living now in Norway.
It's the high point of the year.
A time when you learn about how God's Spirit is operating all over the world.
Renewing acquaintances and making new friends and seeing old faces.
And it's kind of like a big family reunion.
I just feel privileged to be here. It's my first time.
This meeting is held each year at the Stanley Theater. Built in 1928, it was one of the largest theaters in the country and one of the finest. In time, it fell into disrepair. In 1983, we purchased the building and fully restored it to its original condition. The Stanley serves as a beautiful setting for this eagerly anticipated 3-hour program. Some of the visitors watch from satellite locations. All are excited as the program is about to begin. The chairman, Anthony Morris, referred to previous annual meetings, and then...
What will we hear this year? Will we hear any clarification of understanding of Scripture? We shall see.
Next came a video update describing the building of kingdom halls in lands with limited resources. Another video featured highlights of recent special conventions. Christopher Maver then interviewed longtime faithful witnesses from Germany, Spain, and Malawi. After that, the audience enjoyed an exciting report chaired by Gary Bro on public witnessing in Manhattan.
At just one table, in 2 days, 14 Bible studies were started. Many of them, the conversation went like this. Are you Jehovah's Witnesses? Yes, we are. Is it true that you offer for free home Bible studies? After we reassured them that yes, they had heard correctly, they said, how do I sign up for one?
Brother Morris introduced another video on the making of Become Jehovah's Friend.
Characters, props, and sets are designed. Then, these sculptures have to be given a skin. And the skin has to be painted. Hundreds of controls are added to a character similar to the bones and muscles in the human body.
Would you like to see the 1-minute lesson that's going to be posted in January?
After viewing a new 1-minute animation, those on hand were treated to a live performance.
Going to sing on the stage.
We're singing song 120. Listen, obey, and be blessed.
Now, speaking of song 120, as sung by our precious children, would you like to hear that song one more time?
Just as a tree rooted deep by the waters gives of its fruit when each season arrives, if we obey as God's own sons and daughters, we'll all be blessed and enjoy endless life. Listen, obey, and be blessed. When you hear God's will express, if you be happy.
After the joyful singing, the rest of the program focused on a clarified understanding of Matthew 24, 45 to 47. First, Jeffrey Jackson considered the topic, How is spiritual food prepared? He then gave a preview of what was to come.
So you'll be interested to note that the next series of 5 talks, each of them given by a governing body member, is about to adjust our understanding of a very treasured subject.
Next, Garrett Lusch answered the question, which channel is Jehovah using?
Faithful slave show that it wouldn't be easy to find out, and that different views would prevail. There would be various wrong views as well. Another question, since the domestics are fed by the slave, are the individual anointed the only ones who need to be fed as domestics by the slave, or does the expression domestics include others as well?
Then Guy Pearce highlighted the subject. Tell us, when will these things be?
Faithfully now during this period of time. It would take some time to see them doing so. And then finally, verse 47, truly I say to you, he will appoint him over all his belongings. So when does a faithful slave receive the 2 appointments? So we mentioned one in 1919. The other is yet to come in the future, near future. We look forward to seeing that happen.
Samuel Hurd gave the talk, Feeding Many Through the Hands of a Few.
Jesus fed many through the hands of a few. He did so when providing material food, and he followed that same pattern when feeding the first century followers spiritually.
Next, Stephen Lett considered who really is the faithful and discreet slave.
What about anointed brothers who make up the faithful slave? Well, they too need to be fed spiritually. So these brothers humbly recognize that as individuals, they are simply domestics, like all others of Jesus' followers.
David Splain concluded with, what does all of this really mean?
But then as the great crowd made its appearance, they too needed to be fed. And so the great crowd and the anointed are all domestics. We are all domestics. And brothers, we love this teaching. We love this idea because it really, truly does dignify the members of the great crowd.
After a closing prayer by Mark Sanderson, the visitors went home happy and encouraged, eager to share with others the good things they had learned.
Such an amazing example of divine education.
One of the highlights that I really liked was when the kids were singing.
And I was so impressed with the program today.
I really appreciated the kids singing.
From the little ones to the older ones who were interviewed.
I especially enjoyed all the new developments happening around the world, and really shows how Jehovah's speeding up the work.
Just to see the governing body's love for all of us friends.
And I think it was a really marvelous event today, not to be missed.